Up and
We're up.
running? Okay, fantastic. So good morning. I'm Johanna Schumacher, and I was previously the mentor coordinator for a year in this chapter, and then I've passed the baton to the lovely Sophia, and I'm now still part of the mentoring team, but my new role is called the Go for Green role. So I just thought it'd be nice to talk a little bit about that, and also Nicole and I didn't plan this, but the main sort of premise that I wanted to go off today was the power of relationships. So that's fantastic that you touched on the building relationships core value this morning, because to me, that's what BNI is really all about. You know, it's all well and good to say that it's, you know, ultimately, you know, it's about the business and everything, but really at the core foundation, it's those relationships, and building those relationships builds trust between all the members. And that's really, once you have that trust and you have that foundation, then the referrals and all the other things and the business and the thank you for closed business, all of that just comes naturally. So, and it's really the foundation for all of BNI. And yeah, so I'll just go on to the next one. So I liked this quote because one thing that we talk about a lot in BNI is the power of one and what that actually means. So I liked this one from John Lennon. I love the Beatles. The people have the power. All we have to do is awaken the power in the people. And I thought that was really relevant because I feel like part of those relationships that we build actually gives us, I don't think we realize sometimes the power that we have in those relationships to really affect change on other people's lives, on a business level, certainly, but also on a personal level. We actually, the meetings that we have with people, the interactions that we have with people, everything that we do actually has the power. We have the power. We, the people, each person has the power to affect change on someone else every time we interact with them. I mean, for us, just as an example, when we joined BNI 3 years ago, we were doing all of our work was subcontracted work. We install solar panels, and you know, one of the goals was to get out of subcontracting work and get our own factory, and you know, take those next steps, hire another electrician, etc. And amazingly, it's taken, I wouldn't say that everyone needs to expect that it's going to take 3 years to reach those goals, your goals, if you join BNI. I'm not trying to say that, but for us, it's been a gradual process of kind of crossing over. And we actually just hit those goals in the last month, which is amazing. And we wouldn't be where we are today without BNI. And it's not just the referrals that come through, it's the support and the growth that we've been able to do as a business, and even for me personally. Like if you told me 3 years ago that I would be doing the education segment, I would have been like, yeah, right, forget it, because I used to stand up in front every day with my little notepad shaking like a leaf, you know. So it just, to me, it just speaks to the power of each individual person within BNI, and how when you interact with them, you never really know how you're inspiring someone. And then collectively, how strong is that force? Yeah, and that to me is what one of the big things that makes BNI different to like a normal networking group, is that we actually, part of it is that we have these, you know, metrics that we can use as tools to measure how we're going, really. Because if you don't know how you're doing, if you don't have any way of measuring that, then you can't look back and go, oh, look how far we've come. So it can seem a little like, oh, why are we tracking all these things? It's a lot of, you know, but but really they do serve a purpose. So in BNI terms, the power of one that they talk about is having one CEU, which is a chapter education unit per week. So that's really at the core of ongoing education and learning, lifelong learning, which is a BNI core value. Attending one meeting per week, so it's showing up and having that interaction every week is really important. Doing one-to-one a week, which is really, really foundational, because you don't get a lot of time to really get to know people at the meeting. So it's really important that we have those meetings outside of the weekly meeting. Bringing one referral a week. Again, as you build those relationships and you do those educations, the referrals just come naturally. And bringing one visitor per month. So visitors are really, I mean, everyone was once a visitor, right, to a chapter. So the visitors are really important from that perspective, not only for the growth of the chapter, but also for again, it's that kind of comes back to that. We don't know how that is going to impact, not that every visitor joins, certainly not, but whether they join or not, it's going to have an impact on them, and what impact are we able to affect. So this wonderful visual was created by Colin Horner, who is a BNI member in Johannesburg, South Africa. So I just thought I'd share that. And that's all. So really, I know I've been banging on about the green economic recovery. So I thought it was a little appropriate that we're talking about, bringing that back to go for green. So just a reminder to everyone that you have the power. You have the power, and don't underestimate your impact that you can have on those around you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Johanna. That's really great. And I think what's really important for us as well is to ensure that we continue to do those ones, I guess, one of everything, because that will lead us into the green. At the moment, we're 55. We need to get to the number 70 before we become green. So we're not very far off.